5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to the hottest sounds in the mix. In the mix.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nina Monique Show. It's Saturday. It's okay outside. It's not the greatest, but it's nice out, so we have a lot to be thankful for. Sorry for starting a little late. I had to get some things organized. So I don't have any guests today. It's going to be you and I. I have some things to talk about that went on with me the prior week and also last week. So we're going to have some conversations, and I hope everyone will engage. Also, Father's Day is coming up, so we're going to be talking about that also. So first, I want to start off by talking about my lovely weekend I had last Friday at the Barclays Center in New York City in Brooklyn for the Yo MTV Raps 30th anniversary experience. That was so much fun because it was nice to see all the old school rappers there and just to be with a crowd that could recite the songs that had us in good times when they was out. It was the greatest experience ever, so I definitely enjoyed that. KRS-One was there, Fat Joe was there, Dougie Fresh, MC Light, Eric B. and Rakim, my favorite, EPMD, Big Daddy Kane, Nice and Smooth, Onyx came out. Oh gosh, whenever I hear Slam till this day, I get super excited. The Far Side was there, Yo-Yo, Das Effects, Flavor Flav, Young Black Teenagers, DJ Scribble, DJ Scratch, Black Sheep, Kid Capri, Melly Mel, and the Furious Five. Ed Lover, Dr. Dre hosted, T-Money, Fab Freddy, and it was just so much fun to hear all those people. And to be in a crowd, like I said, where everybody was reciting the songs that came out, that was like the best. And when Eric B. and Rakim came out, oh my God, like I can't even describe that feeling. That was the best. So big shout out to all those artists. Big shout out to everyone from the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. That was just an epic moment. And shout out to everyone who went to the concert. I know you guys had fun because everyone was dancing in the aisles. And also to Kid Capri and DJ Scratch, who had their DJ battle up on the stage. That was cool too. So once again, big shout out to MTV and Ed Lover and Dr. Dre for putting that show together, and thank you for doing that because it took my mind off a lot of things that was going on. So big shout out to them. Also, that was my highlight. I want to talk about something that happened last weekend. There was a lady in Patterson. Her name is Thelma Santana. Beautiful woman. Unfortunately, she climbed the Lafayette Bridge in Patterson, New Jersey, my hometown, and decided to take her own life. I don't know her. I don't know what she was going through, but I do send my prayers and my thoughts and condolences out to her family. Depression is real. I don't know if she was depressed, but I was reading up where she was depressed, and it's a serious issue. It's something that I also experienced at a period in my life also. And again, I can't talk for her because I didn't know her and I don't know her whole situation. But depression is a serious thing, and people always say, talk to someone, but it's hard to talk to someone because you don't know if people are going to judge you for feeling a certain way or for the things which are getting you depressed. So people hold it in. And it's just an awful feeling. I know for me, when I was going through depression, I did see a doctor to help me, and he did prescribe prescriptions, but I really didn't want to take the prescriptions because I didn't want to become hooked on anything. I did it for like maybe 5-6 months, and then I just stopped, which, you know, I recommend someone just not stopping. Talk to your doctor first. But if you have things that you're going through, please talk to someone. Please talk to someone. There are hotlines to help you. If you have close friends, and you don't have to get into a whole bunch of details, but just let someone know that you're going through something, because it's a lot of things going on in this world right now, and I think everyone needs someone to talk to. I know for me, I work in investment banking, and I sit under a TV all day. And when I turn my head just to stretch, the first thing I see is the person who's supposed to be running the country. I refuse to say his name. And that right there gets me upset, mad, and depressed, because there's always something foolish going on with him. Like the latest thing was giving a pardon to Muhammad Ali. Another thing he did, you know, going back and forth with banking, that's something that he's into. But it's just a few things that really get under my skin about him. So I do my hardest to try and take my mind off of everything. But it's a serious situation when you have a lot of things going on. And again, TV don't help. So I definitely hope for those going through something that you talk to someone to get help. And again, to Thelma Santana, God bless. And I'm sorry that you felt you had to take your life. And my condolences are going out to her family and friends. And also, Kate Spade, I think, what was her name? Kate Spade. She's another one who decided to take her life, and she had a daughter. And again, to her family, I'm sorry that you felt you had to take your life. I think everyone should cherish their life, and everyone should appreciate their life. But at different times and in different situations, everyone go through things. So again, if you're going through something, please get help. Shawn, hello. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me. How are you?
I'm okay.
That's good. Did you, I'm sure you heard about, you know, Kate Spade, and, you know, what are your thoughts on people who decide to take their life? I constantly say, you know, try and get help before you get to that level.
Well, sometimes it's like people go through things. Really, it depends on what they're going through, and if they have an outlet at the opportune time that they're going through it. Yeah. It's just that, you know, there was an actor actually that just committed suicide as well. I was reading about that yesterday. And you would think that people with money have enough resources and friends to go to, but sometimes it's just not. It doesn't work like that. You know, there's different forces in play. Yeah. And it's sorry to say that, you know, that the friends couldn't pick up on things, or, you know, you never know when somebody's at their lowest until they actually give you some type of body language or comments about how they're feeling. I had a friend one time in his life that actually one of my friends, and he said that we were at a club one day, and he said to me, "Hey, yo, Black, I'm gonna kill myself." I looked at him, I was like, stop playing. What you drinking? I was like, what are you drinking? You know, and he was dead serious. He had nothing to drink. I said, dude, you serious? I called my other dudes, like, yo, man, this dude's talking about killing himself. So we got together with him the next day. and was like, yo, man, you know, what's going on? Why you talking like that? And it was a lot of stuff going on, yo. It was really a lot of stuff. And he just felt like the only way out was to just kill himself. And you know, it's sad to say that, you know, people are willing to take their life because things are going so wrong in their life. But this is what we go through. We're human beings.
Yep.
You know, you go through ups and downs, you know, and this is what life teaches you. It's not always going to be an uphill climb. You know what I'm saying? It may be a hard climb, but when you get to the top, you're going to come down smooth.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes people have to put God first, man. You know, if you put God ahead of everything that you do, 9 times out of 10, you'll start thinking things through. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you get like that. Yeah.
Like that depression to creep up on you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And when it hits you, it's like you start thinking crazy. Your feelings start, you know, going all over the place, and then you start creating these images in your head of how you think people feel about you, and you know, things like that. And it's a serious thing. And I just continue to say, you know, if you're going through something, try and, like you said, find an outlet. And for those who know of people going through things such as depression, keep a eye on them and continue to be there for them, because some people could come out of it and some people can't. So it's a very serious situation, and there are numbers out there to call if you feeling suicidal. Just try and use all resources possible, because your life do matter. People may say, you know, mean things and make you feel a certain way, but your life do matter, and you never know what's in store for you if you decide to take your own life. So on that note,
he was trying to get you.
Oh. On that note, I want to move on to something else. I want to find out what's been going on with you, Mr. Shawn Montgomery.
What's been going on with me?
First of all, tell everyone about your show, because you're syndicated now, right?
Yeah. Basically, I run a show called Not Thick World. Oh my God, did I say that? I run a show called Hot 914 Radio,
which was Thick World Radio. And it was a transition to change the show based on the fact of evolution. You know what I'm saying? Like you evolve, like you start off this way and you don't end up that way, you just move up, right?
And I wanted to have a show that critiques to where I was from and where I lived at. You know what I'm saying? Like all the shows were catered to plus size, and I got to a point in my career and things that I was doing and said, I have to cater to a broader public. I just can't cater to like one target of people, and to go mainstream, I have to broaden my horizon. So, me targeting 914 and saying that you know, this is Hot 914 Radio, that gave me a different platform to actually go look for sponsors, talk to artists who came from this area, deal with different businesses that will probably support me because of what I do. So, you know, when you think about things, sometimes things are rational, and sometimes things are irrational, and you realize as you progress, like, why did I do that? You know, so.
Oh yeah.
So the radio show. I started back a couple of months ago. I created the logo, and you know, I put it out there, and I'm getting good feedback. People are telling me, "Oh, where's the station at?" You know, and you know, I tell them about In The Mixx Radio and stuff. And now I'm actually putting together different advertising packages for the show.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, a lot of people, I just met a chef yesterday, and he's talking about advertising. And his business is going to start over there at Blade Plaza.
Is that around here?
Bay Plaza is over in the Bronx.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's opening up an African American restaurant over there.
Oh, nice.
And
congrats to him.
Yeah, he has other chefs actually. Let's see, I might have a card because I met him last night, and you know, I put cards in my wallet and forget about it sometimes. Yeah. His business is called W/Culinary Art Professional. CEO Food and Beverage Supplier James Peterson. You know, he does food service management. He's certified nutrition, event planning, full service catering, menu development, multicultural cuisines, dietary and hospital equipment sales.
Oh, wow.
So he does
Jack
a lot.
of all trades.
Yeah, and he's proud. Is just proud to be an MBE certified. So this dude is his food was, oh my God, yo. I told him, I said, yo, we definitely are gonna talk business, man. So I'm definitely gearing him up to come to the show and things. But the show is doing good. I'm starting to get people like to actually come and tune into the show. Trying to get them to tune into one location and area, which is Hot 914 on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm also you know, like I said, syndicated with 91.3 The Plug out of Chicago. So what's going on now is I'm branding. I'm getting shirts. I'm getting mics with the box around it.
Nice.
I already got my audio. I picked up my shirts. They're on order. They should be in the next week or two. Also, 91.3 is going to send me some shirts to rep their station, banners to rep their station. I actually have an event to go to out there. And
is that the one you posted on Instagram?
Yeah. I'm trying to get on the Facebook. Like,
the one with the model and
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some fashion show / entertainment type stuff, but it's gonna have 91 Black Pearl Entertainment. There's a couple other companies that are gonna be out there, but I'm gonna be networking with a few people out there.
Nice.
And also I'm having a showcase come up maybe in August 30th. I'm actually planning for it. Just have to go up and talk to the venue, put money down, and I have a whole lot of people that want to come in on the showcase. It's gonna be a hip hop artist showcase, and you know, we're gonna be looking for 11 artists.
Are you signing them to a label?
I work with Protect Your Neck Records, so there's gonna be distribution on the table for the winner of the showcase, and of course I'm gonna be trying to sign other artists. But the thing about that is, you know, I hate to go off topic, but you know, when it comes to artists, you know, artists want to be independent.
Yeah, I think that's how everybody going now.
Yeah, but you gotta understand something, and
because I like
the industry is like, let me explain independent. You remember how when we used to talk, and I used to say models walk around, they talk about they're independent. Well, to companies and people that are clients in the business, that means that nobody wants you.
Okay.
So it's like you could be independent all day, but you could be independent and hot and doing everything, but you're not signed to Lane Bryant. You're not signed to Ashley Stewart. You could be independent until you get signed to a company. When you get signed to a company, it says a lot more about who you are walking through the door. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you can be a model and be signed to Ashley Stewart and never hit the billboard. But guess what? You're signed to Ashley Stewart. That you can run through the door with, and can't nobody take it from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when artists come to me and they're like, oh, you know, I want to be independent, to me that says you'll never make it. It says that you have a 50-50 chance of making it in this business, and you're not going to get through any back doors. They'll perform for people. You know, you'll perform with A-list artists, you'll perform with B-list artists, but you'll never get in to where you need to go unless you're signed. Once you're signed, then it's like, okay, he's signed with such and such. They go look up the company, they look up the record company. Oh, he's signed to such and such. Oh, who is he? What's he doing? How long has he been signed for? What kind of contract does he have? Now you're marketable. You see what I'm saying? So,
but I mean, I get what you say, but like, for example, I guess we could go, can we take that to like music also?
Yeah.
Like, you know, back in the day, having a big major record label behind you was a big thing. But then as time went on, everybody started being independent and started making their own sales and pushing up, you know. Right. So it's like, can you say you'll never get there? Because a lot of people that do that actually, you know, keep money in their pocket and, you know.
Well, let's look at let's look at Master P. Right? Master P marketed his own stuff. He distributed his own stuff. He got to the level where he needed to go, and he was independent by doing it. And it was a certain time frame where he needed endorsements, he needed this, he needed that. So he had to sign something. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you could be independent all day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's going to be a lot of hard work. And in the entertainment business, nothing comes easy unless you know somebody.
Right.
So Master P did a lot of legwork. And when you're talking about years of legwork, it didn't come like maybe 5-6 years. He put in, literally. You know what I'm saying? And these artists,
that's part of being an entrepreneur, though. Yeah. Like put that work in. And I guess, you know, when you believe in whatever it is that you're doing, you don't mind not being signed because you love what you're doing. Nobody telling you how to do your stuff.
Yeah, but it still has some type of it's like a resume. If you haven't worked for anyone, right? And you haven't built a resume, who knows who you are and what you do? Remember, you still have to sell your records to the public. You still have to sell it. So that means you got to go out there and market yourself. You got to do the radio legwork. You have to do the advertising, the marketing, everything. All of that costs. So you have to perform to make the money, to have the money to back you to do what you have to do. You have to plan tours. That means you have to call up cities. You have to call up people who run these cities. You have to let them know, I'm coming in your city to do a tour. I'm going to be over here. You have to call the place, the location. You have to speak to the owners. You now become
your own
a business mogul, right? But remember, you're the artist. So if you wear the hat as the artist and wear the hat as the CEO, guess what? You're doing everything. That means you need a company.
Yeah.
So that means you need a PR. That means you need a stylist. That means you need this. These people need to get paid.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it becomes a little bit more
difficult
to be independent, you know, with marketing, you know, advertising, everything. So that's why I tell people sometimes.
I get that. I do, because I go through that now.
Yes. I go through it. I go through it. I'm just straight up. I go through it. Look, when I need, I'm a photographer, right?
I agree, Leroy.
I run a radio show. I have to come in here and hire people to host my show. I can get an intern any day. I have to interview these people. When they come in here and they perform, are they performing at their best level? Do they know what they're doing? Then when I get out there on location, I'm dealing with artists. Now I got to make sure the same people that are hosting my show are not groupies. Because groupies make you look embarrassed and you're out there in the public view. So if I'm running around with people like CeCe Peniston and I got people talking about, oh my God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, where's my publicist? Where's my marketing person? Where's this? Where's that? And this is what you have to have the complete package. See, people will deal with people when they say or when they look like they're doing a substantial business. You know, I'm going out there, I'm hosting. I have to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you learn in the process. That's why I'm getting my radio shirts. That's why I'm getting the radio stuff on the mic here, like Cruize has. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why you have to build your platform in order for people to come to you.
Right.
That's when you do business.
Right.
But if you're independent, I can say all day I'm an independent artist. Yeah. What's your name? What's your background? What are you doing? What kind of following do you have? What's this, that? Where you performed at? Boom, 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 boom. You know, what do you got going on now? All that got to come to the head when you start talking.
Yeah.
If you can't bring that, what are you doing?
That's true. That's true. True. Leroy said, true entrepreneurs understand the grind that comes with it. It's not for everyone. Being signed to a label or mainstream company does not negate you from marketing and branding. I agree. I think.
Yeah, you can market and brand all day. And it says a lot about you to a company.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like going to a job fair. You walk in a job fair with your suit on.
Yeah, and
right?
you sell your...
You got your resumes.
Yeah.
You're looking proper.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk up to the table, hi, how are you? What's your name? My name is such and such. What do you do? This, that, this. You got to do the same thing to the record industry. You come in there, yo, my name is what is it? Make up a name like
Pookie.
Yeah, yo, hold up. My name is I use Money Sean because they call me Money Sean in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
My name's Money Sean. You come to the label, they gonna be like, oh really, Money Sean? Yeah. What do you have to represent that? You remember back in the day, hip hop, they used to have gimmick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rakim was a god.
He
was a 5%er.
Yes.
What he used to do? Just wear his crown all the time. He spoke. His artistry was about knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
He was always dropping knowledge. So everything matched up with that. When people seen him, they was like, "Peace, God." They automatically walk up to him.
It's your
because
image.
that was the image. You know what I'm saying? So you have that. You had the same thing with Uncle Luke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Everybody
saying?
know what he's known for. Yeah.
So whatever your
Hi,
image is,
Luke.
back in the day, hip hop was a little bit more.
I was just
It was more seenable.
talking
know what I'm saying?
about that because
What?
I went to the MTV Yo Raps show that they had in Brooklyn, and Eric B. and Rakim was one of them that was on there.
Uh-huh.
And it was like I was saying, just that show alone, it just brought you back to that era of
Yeah.
hip hop,
Yeah.
like, and it was like the greatest feeling ever.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I want to still stick to the independent
Okay.
situation, because you said signing to a label, you know, and help you get your foot in the door. And
Yeah,
everything.
it says a lot about who you are and basically if you're serious about your craft. People take you a lot more serious when you say I'm signed with whoever. You can sign to Def Jam knockoff. Like Def Jam has independent A&Rs, you know, that are signed that work under Def Jam. Universal has it. You know, everybody has it. You know what I'm saying? There's labels, A&Rs out there looking for people. But here's the thing. When somebody's serious about, like, I talked to an artist 2 days ago. And I said to him, you know, nowadays, what the artists do, what the labels are doing now is they're looking for artists who are serious about their craft. So he said to me, yo, man, check out my EPK, check out my website, check out. So I checked the stuff out. I said, oh, yeah, you serious. I said, so when are you ready to take it to the next level? So he said, I said, I'm looking for artists to sign. You know what he says to me? He says, well, so what I got to do? I said, what you have to do is be ready to invest in yourself. Because labels are not forwarding monies anymore. They're not.
That's what I was getting ready to ask. They don't do advancements anymore.
They're not doing
So
advancements.
then with that part being said, it's like, so why not just be independent? Still, I understand what you're saying,
Right.
you know, to sign with the record labels to help you get your foot in the door, because that's a good name behind you and everything. But if they're not giving you the advance anymore and you already have a good amount of the work done,
I didn't know he was coming.
and you already have a good amount of the work done, is like, why sign with the label? Because then don't when you sign with a label, don't you lose like control of being creative with
No.
whatever it is you're doing?
No, you don't lose control of it. Your creativity comes from your artistry. So my thing is when you sign with the label, the only reason why artists sign with labels, right, is to further their career in what they're doing. So just say if Independent Joe wanted to get his stuff played on 105 or Flex show, right? He walk up to Flex, yo Flex, can you play my stuff on your show? There's a 50-50 chance that Flex might play your stuff, right? So if Flex plays your stuff, it's up to Flex to pull you in to say, hey, I like your music, come on my show, let's do an interview. Now if you went independently and said, you know what, let me go to 105. You call them and says, look, man, I'm an artist. I wanna get my stuff played on your show, right? They're gonna say, well, how many spins do you want? You know, it's gonna cost you $3,000, $4,000 to get your stuff spinned in rotation. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Where is that if you're signed with a label and the label calls up 105, says, look, we got an artist, this, and this, and we would love to get his stuff in rotation. Fine. Send your music down. Boom, 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 boom. You know, it's some backdoor negotiations going on. But as an artist, you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You need some promotion. You need some marketing, right? You do your own promotion. You got to do your own video joints.
Right.
You got to do your own photo shoots.
When
when you
Ludacris start out like that too, like he sold his stuff from like the back of his trunk, and then he did all his
Master
videos.
P, same thing.
Yeah.
But eventually they got into the industry, and once they got into the industry, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things and moves that you have to make in order to move to the next door. You know, you can build an empire, but you're gonna need somebody within that industry to make that empire, you know, stand strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you can look around. Look at businesses.
Yeah, that's true.
Every business needs another business as a sponsor to get them to the next level. If every business out here was independently owned and run, then nobody in the United States would make money. You know what I'm saying? It's like a give and take type of thing. You give me this, I'll give you that. Then guess what? We can get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, I work here. I work for Cruize, man. You know what I'm saying? Cruize gives me the platform to do what I do.
True.
So if I wanted to do it independently, like Cruize is doing it independently, but he still owns a business, and I still need a platform. So I could go out there and do the same thing, but it's going to cost me a lot more. You see what I'm saying? Whereas me doing it under Cruize's umbrella is because he already has the network set up.
Right. Okay.
So I may be able to do it once I get the sponsorship, it depends on where you want to go, how you want to go, and what way you want to take it.
Right.
So you could do it independently, but guess what? You're going to market your own showcases. You're gonna market your own city tour. And then you have to brand yourself. You have to get to every radio station in every city and call them up and say, hey, I'm coming to your city, I'm doing a tour, this, and this. And it depends on the radio station if you're worthy of us coming out to interview you. If you're a no-name person and you're a nobody, guess what? You're not going to have a radio station at your joint. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But now we got online radio shows, you got all kinds of shows, but who's watching your stuff?
Social media, if you post it.
Yeah, but who? But who? That's the question. Who? See, I know after 8-9 years doing this, I know that industry people are watching my show. I mean, most of my hosts. Look what my host Milagros. She's running her own show now. She's on Rough Rider Radio. They saw her on my show. I had a guest here years ago when I was with Cruize at Mount Vernon. She said, Wendy Williams called me. And I said, really? Williams. Yes. I said, really? She said, yes. They were watching your show. And they want me to come on their show. and be a guest in the audience and all this stuff. That was years ago. You know what I'm saying? So when I get out there and I'm in the hip hop world, wherever I'm at, people will walk up to me in the street in Mount Vernon and say, yo, man, I seen your show today. It was really hot, man. Blah, blah, blah. But that comes with marketing, which I'm getting from Cruize. Independently, I would have to build a station just like Cruize, put in the money, put in the time, get people to do what this man has done independently. You see what I'm saying? But there's not a lot of people that can do independent.
Cruize, I'm gonna bother you. How hard was it for you to start your
Yes. Shout out to DJ Cruize.
Yeah, go ahead. How hard was it for you to get In The Mixx off the ground? Because I could imagine the difficult part was the finances, right? Getting the capital.
Too loud. Let me get my Barry White on. Let me stop.
Oh wow. Say that, Cruize. Get your Barry White on.
Yeah. I mean, originally In The Mixx, it started off out of my bedroom, and it wasn't In The Mixx at the time. It was more me just wanting to broadcast online. I saw a couple people doing it online.
1 second, Cruize. Can you put your yes?
Yeah. Give me a second.
What?
So everybody could see Cruize.
See, look at that. I'm even on Google. See that? That's what's up, man. Look at that. I'm the first thing when they pop up. See, that's what I'm talking. That's business. See, In The Mixx Radio, all that joint come up the same way.
Hey, Cruize.
So, yeah, it's something that started out of my bedroom. I would just DJ out of my bedroom, and I was trying to figure out how to get it to broadcast online. So when I finally figured it out, I mean, I probably had seen like 2 other people do it. So I started doing that, and then I was actually doing shows like out of my apartment. So, but then I was like, yo, I can't deal with this. Like, people coming to my house type thing, Right. So at the time, I was part of a DJ crew called the official Crowd Movers. And then we started, Mixx Kings. So Mixx Kings went and got their own studio in Mount Vernon. They went and got a studio in Mount Vernon. And at the time I was with Crowd Movers. The head guy of Crowd Movers and then the guy I started Mixx Kings with were kind of colliding. They were colliding. But I was dealing more with Crowd Movers for the simple fact was that that guy was getting me gigs. I was DJing 5-6 days out of the week, different clubs, whatever. Meanwhile, Mixx Kings was a group of great DJs, a bunch of great DJs, but nobody was giving parties. Nobody was doing nothing. It was just a group of dudes. So, of course, you're going to be where the money's at. You know what I mean? You got to keep your stuff going. So, anyway, long story short, I made this thing called Crowd Movers Radio. Mixx Kings started doing their own thing. I mean, I was still affiliated with them, but they started doing their own thing.
Well, what you was doing? With
right. The guy that did Mixx Kings with me, he was picking up, my ideas. So he went and did his own thing. You know what I mean? So he started doing his own thing, but he didn't have it down to a T because I already had the science behind the way everything worked, getting the phone calls and everything that people are learning now. I learned that a long time ago. People doing Skype now, I was doing that way back when. Like, I figured a way of doing it differently. You know what I mean? So this is not just about funding. If you don't have a nerd technology behind this, you're not going to do it. You could have the money for people to do this for you, but there's going to, every 6 months to a year, technology changes. So believe me, I have a challenge in front of me every single month. So I always look at what other people are doing. So I try to go over the barrier. I try to go, okay, I need to go here now. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people haven't caught up to me because there's certain things that they do. YouTube teaches you some things. They're not going to give you all the secrets.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't tell people exactly how I do everything. I mean, of course, it's more simplified now. So, I mean, as far as the money thing, it really wasn't a money thing.
Okay.
Being that I was a DJ, I had a lot of equipment. had a bunch of mics. You know, back when I first started doing this, I was using webcams. I would buy webcams for like $20. Go to Micro Center. You know, at the time, right? Because we wasn't at that level where there was like HD. There wasn't, you know, there was no 4K.
Yeah,
so you know what? The whole point was visual. You saw visual. So that's, you know what I mean? I was at another level where people was doing more something that you can hear.
Right.
Because when people were doing online stuff at home, it was only audio.
Right.
It wasn't doing visuals. So I crossed over and started doing the video. You know what I'm saying? So it was a matter of getting the audio and the video and everything to sync and everything to work with an app.
Right.
Like, you know, like I said, In The Mixx, I started in 2010. And In The Mixx became, because Mix Kings, the guy, you know, and I'm not going to say his name, but it's a person that likes to do things only to look cool. You know how some people get things and do things just because they want to flash and look cool?
Right.
That's not my style. I like to have expensive things, cool things, but it's not to flaunt them. It's more like, look, I did it for myself.
Right.
Like I feel good, like I accomplished it.
Right.
So Mix Kings started falling apart. They were going to shut it down in Mount Vernon. So they started falling apart. So my ex-partner was like, listen, I'm going to shut it down. If you want to keep it, whatever. That's when another Mix King, DJ Nitro, spoke to me and was like, yo, you know what? Let's keep it going. So we took it together. So this is how In The Mixx started. Because originally it was supposed to be Mix Kings, but because the dude was like, yeah, you can have it, whatever. You know how some people, they hate, they tell you things, but they really don't want you to succeed. So he never gave us the website. He never gave us nothing. He never gave us the name. So it was like, okay. So in 2 days, I already had like 8 shows under my belt at that time. You know what I mean? And I wasn't, you know, at the time we wasn't really charging a lot of money to rent. Everything was like dirt cheap. So all those shows that were with me stood with me. So that's in 2 days. I just out of the blue, I created a logo, made In The Mixx Radio, gave it a name. You know, I put an extra X on it because someone else already had In The Mixx with 1 X.
Right.
So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna, you know, we're gonna cross over, do it this way. Made a choppy little logo, you know, which is the older logo. You know, made that, and the show stood with me. So as time went on, it went picking up. Technology came changing. Then after a while, you know, maybe a couple months later, that's when I met Shawn. Yeah. Shawn came. I think Shawn was a guest or something on somebody's show. I really don't remember. Yeah. I've had so many different people come in. You know what I mean? A lot of my shows are people that come in as guests. Yeah. So it started in Mount Vernon. We left Mount Vernon because that building got sold to a church. The church didn't want to provide us with an extra room, whatever, so on and so on, which I heard that church got shut down anyway. See what happens for being mean? So
exactly.
So people with bad intentions, if you ever notice, I've noticed people that are always like, oh, my luck, but then you got to understand how you tread.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you do bad things to people, you take away from people. Like, I'm not a petty person. It's not about... You see how some people try to rip you off for $20, $30? Yeah, I always say, if you're going to rob somebody for money, rob them. I mean, for some paper. Right. You know, don't do some, you know, a B, you know, for... Yeah, I don't want to curse on Nina show. And, I've always said, if you're going to run a scandal, make sure that it's worth your while. Right, like, don't be petty for 20. I know people that are petty for $20, $30. Then you always see them crying, broke, this, that. And I'm not a petty dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not a petty dude. So, I mean, thank God this thing has worked out. I mean, I do have a silent partner that's part of In The Mixx. He's helped fund. And, you know, like I said, all this stuff has come through time. Like, you come in here, it looks like a time machine in here. It looks like the Matrix. But it has a lot to do with, it's been time. Right. So it's like you replace this, you replace that, you replace this. You know, so it's not like I went and spent $10,000-$20,000 in one shot. Okay. You know what I mean? It's all been, like, little by little. Like, let's say at one point we had a little board that was $200. Then we went to $1,000 board. Then we went to a $3,000 board. It's like all, you know, you gradually through time. The mics, before we had mics that were like $40, $50. I remember when I started, we would go to Sam Ash, not Guitar Center, Sam Ash, and we used to buy microphones for like $20. So if we needed like 6 mics, you spend $100. You know what I mean? Like the webcams, like I said, like $20. You know. The computer, good, you know, thank God I'm savvy with that. Yeah. I'm a nerd.
You built that yourself, you said.
I built all the computers. I built them myself. Like, I refuse to go to a store and buy a PC. Because you're just buying a name brand. Everything else that's in there is third party. Right. So I've always It's like I told Nina, you got to learn to eliminate the middleman. Of course, we always need somebody that has more smarts in certain things to help us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some way, somehow, you got to kind of learn how to do that too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I'm not, In The Mixx is pretty much, I'm a one-man gang. You know what I mean? Like I run it, you know, as far as the technology. Sometimes I'm behind as far as promotion-wise within The Mixx, you know, promoting the shows, doing this. You know what? It's tiring.
Yeah.
For me to be on social media and promote this show, that show.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, you know, I'm supposed to be doing this, but sometimes your brain gets fried.
Yes.
So many things.
Yes.
You
That's
know?
how it is for me with the social media part, because I'm more focused on my show. So it's like, it's hard to get into social media. That's the difficult. That out of anything I have with my business, it's social media.
It's super hard.
Yeah,
Yes.
super hard.
It's super hard. And I believe me, I have a lot of people that reach out to me. Yo, you know, for this amount of money monthly, we can boost up your numbers. But I mean, I'm not
I
dumb
believe
neither. A lot
your
of that,
numbers will grow when it's supposed to.
right?
When-
But a lot of those numbers that people get you, those are phony accounts. They get, you know, they're dummy accounts. They'll get you. Like, I
They're
mean,
just trying to take money on
I could
top
pay
of it.
20, 30 bucks and probably have 100,000 followers.
right.
Okay, but you got to remember, these are programs with bots
Right.
that get you the followers. Sometimes it's ghost followers, and what ghost followers means are accounts that don't move, that
Right.
don't like or dislike, that nothing. They don't do nothing. It's just an account that's there.
Right.
So some people be like, oh, I got all these, you know, followers. But now let's look at your pictures and see how many likes you have.
Right.
Because I've seen people that have, you know what I mean? There's times, look, I got like maybe 3,000 followers on Instagram. And on an average, I'll probably get like 50 likes. If you have 100,000 followers, you should be having thousands of likes.
Right.
And I be looking at people's stuff and I go, okay, this is fugazi. I'm not dumb. Like, you do the math.
Yeah.
You got to look at things for what it is.
Yeah.
So it's hard to sell me. If you're going to sell me something, you like, for you to intrigue me to go, oh man, like that means you got a dope idea. Like you caught me, you know, but a lot of people fugazi and I don't, you know.
Yeah. That's like, in my opinion, like social media wise, for me, I just can't get into it like that, because me being an 80s baby and growing up in the 90s, you put your hard work in and you get your followers. Now with social media, like you said, is like, to me it's too easy and too good to be true, and it's like I keep it to a minimum, even though I should be out there pushing my business more. I know Leroy, he's gonna flip when he hear me saying all
You got to
this,
start
but-
branding yourself. Like, remember, like I told you, like you have to eliminate the middleman. Like I went and bought me a vinyl machine. I got 2 vinyl machines. I got 2 press machines. I'm making my own shirts.
Yeah, bro.
Look, this shirt that I'm rocking right now.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cruize.
Okay.
Okay.
That's real.
The back.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Yep.
I make my own joints.
yeah. That's
So-
real talk.
So-
I'm not gonna go.
Self-promotion.
I'm not gonna turn
Yeah.
around and go spend $200-300 to make 12 shirts off of somebody because they want a dozen shirts. Meanwhile, it'll probably cost me, give or take, $50 to make a dozen shirts. You know, and you
Yeah.
sell them. I mean, but you got to remember, people want hookups, but they don't see the work that you go through.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Discounts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
everybody wants
yeah.
a discount now.
That's real
I can
talk.
understand if you want to buy by bulk. I get it now. Like, I understand. Like, there's times I've gone to buy shirts and I'm damn, these shirts are expensive.
Yeah.
But you do put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
you got to get paid for your time. Like, you
Yeah.
just
Because truth of the matter is this. I'm sorry.
no. Say your
Go
thing, man.
ahead.
Because people worry too much about, okay, you got this thing. They always, some people want discounts because they say they can't afford it, but people don't understand like how much money you put towards your time, your
Right.
equipment, your finances, and all that stuff. That's not cheap.
They look at the material stuff
Correct.
instead of the work.
Well,
that goes
what people are
behind
not
it.
noticing is that you are you are doing labor.
Yeah, man.
So you got to
Right.
look at it for what it is. If you're a photographer and you're gonna go take pictures and you tell somebody, look, it's gonna cost. I'm gonna do it for $3. Oh, you know, whatever. I didn't come look for you. You looked for me.
Right.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
if that's the case, then you go buy the $1,000 camera and go take the pictures yourself.
And if they
Yes.
don't want to do that, take it
You know
with
what
your
I'm
little take your little iPhone.
Yeah.
that's
So
it.
I mean, it is. It's the same thing with
it's
the. It's the same thing with the DJing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The DJing part of it. Some people, you tell them, Like on average, I do a regular party for somebody. It's $450. I charge for 4 hours.
And that's cheap. Okay?
Yes, that was getting
I'm
ready
gonna
to
tell
say.
you honestly, that's cheap.
$450. But this is
say.
a regular party. It's a regular party. Now, if I have to provide insurance to the place, which I have, you charge them an extra $100. You want lights? More money.
Right.
You want an MC doing extra YZ? More money. You want TVs with your name and stuff flashing in the background? More money. So everything is a step up. So in the contracts, when I do stuff for people, I have broken down as like in bundles. So a basic party, which it'll say, 2 speakers, whatever. You break it down to a description. $450. This is what we're doing. So you get 4 hours. If you want the extra hour, then you charge them like $75. You don't want to kill them neither at that point.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
But there's too many DJs that lowball.
Right.
So when you start charging $200,
$100 for this.
$250,
And
meanwhile,
they're not only just lowball, they play the same sad music like you're playing on the doggone radio.
You destroy the industry like that, and then. It is what it is. Sometimes you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes you'll get
Yeah.
that $200
Exactly.
DJ, and everybody's
Right.
complaining about the $200
Exactly.
DJ. Their speaker sounds like they had two
Tweeter boxes.
Yeah.
two little iBuds blasting. You know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
get what you pay for. It is what it is.
Yeah.
People
For
don't know
instance,
no better.
like I got into videography this year, right? Last year, and I started, really looking at my video content, looking at my transition, looking at my audio, and now I understand what it is to have clarity on your video. I understand what it has to have your title go on there, have the music in the background, to drop stuff, to pull stuff out, to cut the clip a little bit, if something ain't right. So, in order for you to progress in your business, and believe it or not, I asked somebody's liking something. I asked a model one time. I said, "What do you want to do in this business? Do you want to just be a model, or do you want to be a model that does commercial print, or a model that does runway, or a model that does coaching, or a model that does this, does that, does this?" I said, models, first thing they do is they get into the business, and they go, "Oh, I want a model," and they think that runway is the only part of the business that they're going to master. And I said to the girl one time,
Different parts.
I said, I said to a girl one time, I says, "Look, what do you want to do?" She says, "I don't know." I says, "Well, come back to me when you know what you want to do, because when you go into modeling, you could become a face model for Calvin Klein.
Right.
You can become a lot of stuff if you approach it correctly.
Right.
You can go to school, or you can be taught by people who know or well known in the business and make it. But you have to apply yourself.
Right.
You can't do anything in this world if you don't apply. That's why when artists tell me, "Oh, I'm an independent artist," how many shows have you done? How many? What's your marketing pitch? Where's your EPK? Where's your website? Show me something that tells me that you're investing in yourself. That's what labels are looking for. They're looking for you to say, "Okay, here's your distribution deal. This is the different deals we have. Which one can you afford to invest in yourself in?" And then we'll back you behind that.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? We'll attach an A&R to you to make sure that you're doing your photo shoots, to make sure that you're doing your shows, to make sure that when you go to the shows, the equipment sounds like fucking 100% and not like tweeter boxes.
Watch your mouth, Shawn.
Sorry, I apologize. But you get emotional when you talk about things. I've seen artists perform at clubs that the system in the club sounds like garbage.
Yeah, trash.
You know what I'm saying? These little rinky-dinky clubs, and you have these people be having showcases, and the speaker, when the artist gets the mic, the cordless is almost, the cordless has been going on all night. You can't even hear the artist. It's coming across from the speakers all scratched up.
It's that the microphones are horrible, first of all.
Yes.
Yeah,
People
because
don't understand.
they don't know how to
Sometimes,
just,
let me tell you something, bro. These people don't know how to throw showcases.
No.
I've been to showcases that big names were there, and I was saying to myself, the system sounds like crap. So guess what? The artist sounds like crap.
You know what?
Yeah.
This is
Right.
all, I mean, when you kind of wake up and
Yeah.
look at things like that, those showcases are really more for the person that put it together to make money.
Exactly.
Right.
They're not.
Exactly.
You know what? There's
Exactly.
too much.
Yep.
There's
They don't care about
too-
nobody else.
There's too much. You got a phone call here.
Oh, okay. Hello, welcome to the Nina Monique Show. Who's this?
This is Diamond Coney. I was told to call in at 4:30.
Hello, how are you?
All right, yourself?
I'm great, thank you. We was on another topic, but I will switch.
I can call back. Would you like me to call back?
You sure?
No,
Or
I'm
you
at a
could
party
join
right now,
in.
so it's
You
all
could
good.
join in on this conversation also if you like.
Well, I'm actually at a party.
Oh, okay.
right now, so I'm doing a favor from a friend. I said it's not a problem. I'll put a little room on my phone.
Okay.
Get back in my car and talk real quick. I can call back. It's up to you.
Okay.
It's not a problem.
Would 5 o'clock be okay?
That's not a problem.
Okay, 5 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
No problem.
All
Take
right,
care.
bye.
God bless.
Alrighty.
But that's so.
Yeah.
But that's so crazy though.
So I mean, the realistic part about it is everything's a dime a dozen now.
Right.
Correct.
If everyone was meant to be a rapper, believe me, I've been in the mix. Thank God, 8 years, and I've seen every type of artist walk in and out this door. I've seen the ones that suck to the ones that sound really, really great that they deserve to be somewhere.
And they talk about the same.
Wow.
And here's the thing: they talk about the same crap every single time.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, it's realistic. That's like, it's the same thing. I mean, I'm not going to put just an artist in that place.
Nah.
I'm going to put an actor in that place. I'm going to put a
Correct.
DJ in that place. I've seen DJs that come here that are horrible.
Oh my
Horrible.
God.
And when I mean horrible, like,
So you seen it all, Cruize.
yeah.
Hey, me doing photography for so many years. You see the good, the bad,
Exactly.
and the ugly.
So, I mean, it's I've had
true.
comedians here.
Yes.
Some that are real funny and some that just, they need to retire.
Comedians, really?
Yeah,
I've
comedians.
had it all. I've had it all here. I've seen everything. So everything in life has goods and bads. Not everyone is meant to be that person. See,
Yeah.
Right.
like the
Very
rap
true.
thing, everybody's so stuck on, let me go. Remember once upon a time, you would do stuff on YouTube, you hit 1 million views, you were banging. Now it's not about 1 million views.
That's
now
a-
you got to go
Yeah.
way beyond that. You know why? Because too many people hit that spot already.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
So
1
they
million
worked-
became comfortable.
Right.
You know what's that? 1 million comfortable, but now since there's gimmicks and ways to get those 1 million views, now they make it more impossible.
Right.
So
Yeah.
everything's a dime a dozen. Like I said, the rap game, you have a lot of artists. I noticed that the ones that make it, I'm not gonna say it's because they're good. It's because you were lucky. You were chosen by something, some way, somehow,
Right.
and you got it.
Right.
I mean, and that's real talk. Like artists from back in the days, let's say the Michael Jacksons, the
Right.
people that have passed away, you know, the
Yeah,
Whitney Houstons,
yeah,
those
yeah.
were people that were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their craft was retarded. There was just no, you can't take that away.
Right.
No.
You got people now, like let's say like the Cardi B's. I congratulate her.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think she's the greatest thing on earth. She just
No.
she was lucky. She got it.
But
Exactly.
she have a unique
She
sound,
is
though.
unique. But how
Yeah.
many other people aren't unique? How many other people don't sound just like her? You understand what I'm saying? I've seen people that are better. Why are they not there? Because it's all about who you know, luck, time, opportunity.
True. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Back in the days, singers, there wasn't a lot of singers. If you notice back when you sounded great, these people were picking you up. They were signing you.
Exactly.
Right.
The way Michael Jackson and them were found, they were dope.
Right.
Exactly.
Whitney Houston was found because she was dope. Back then you had people singing, but you stuck out. Now there's 1 million people that sound the same.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear it all
So
the time.
now you got to stick out even better.
But it's hard.
It's
because
hard.
half of these people sing about things, one, that they don't have,
Or they
they've
don't.
never
Oh,
had,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
situations they've never been in.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, like what you just said is true because when it was, who was it that was on stage and they was talking? I think it was MC Light, and she did Georgie Porgy.
Yeah.
And it was like you hear the storyline of it, and even Eric B and Rakim, when they came on the stage, you heard the storylines.
Their music.
Black Sheep. And it was like, wow. And then you listen to some of the music now, and it's like, okay, what am I missing? because it's no storyline.
Well, you
I
see,
love
that's
storylines.
Cardi B.
Yep.
Cardi B talks about her real life.
That's
you
why I
listen
like
to
her,
her
though.
music. This is why she's there, because she's talking about things that she didn't have, things that she did do, and she's been honest about it. Oh, I'm a stripper. I shook my ass. I did this. I did that, and that's why she's winning.
Right.
That's why she's winning, because she's been real from the beginning to the end. That's why, you know.
And people hate her for that.
And
I
that
think
she's
that's
I don't
amazing.
find her to be the greatest. There's people that they put them as the greatest, and I'd be like, how do you make them the greatest when they haven't even, you know?
Yeah.
Because you
It's
made
a surface.
Yeah, like to me, it's just it becomes crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like I said, everything in general. Like everybody wants to become a legend.
Yeah.
Everybody has
that
some
takes
type
time.
of.
That don't happen overnight.
Believe me,
No.
I hear people calling themselves legends. That I'd be like, how the hell are you a legend? Like,
How
when did that start?
and to add to that point, how you become a legend? Nobody even knows you.
You know. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, man. It's a lot of that going on. There's too much of the same thing. Like I said, as far as music, as far as that. Look, another thing I'll throw out there. I mean, the world can hate me. Look at all these things on YouTube as far as web series.
Yes.
How many of those things you don't see already? You know what I'm saying? And it's everybody has to start off somewhere. But the problem is, for
That's
me,
what make it hard to filter, like to actually be seen, because it's everybody's on there.
Yeah.
that's my problem. You see,
Yeah.
I look for details. I'm a person that I'm a fanatic for detail. Like I'm a perfectionist. So when you look at the web series thing, of course, you have to try if you want to get somewhere.
Right.
Okay? But at the end of the day, there's nothing unique about it anymore.
No.
Right.
And I look for stuff that's unique that you look at and you go, yo, I've never seen that.
Right.
And that's what makes you stick out from everyone else. Once you start copying everybody and doing everything else, same thing like the Facebook Live, everyone's become actors, singers, preachers on Facebook Live. The platform is there.
And people
Where's the
don't-
boom at?
Wendy,
Cruize?
Wendy Williams, everybody's become Wendy Williams overnight. Everyone has become Dr. Phil overnight.
Like,
So
people don't even have a clue what's going on in their lives,
Yo, let
but
me
they
tell you
want to
something.
judge
That's a
you
true
on
statement.
yours.
That's a true
That's
statement.
ridiculous.
So
People
I
wanna
mean
comment on
that's
others.
exactly what it is, and you know, it's being done easy. There has to be something behind all of that.
Right. It's all
no
for
peanuts
attention.
in there.
That's what it is.
You know.
It's all for
No
attention.
peanuts.
Okay.
I like peanuts.
I'm
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Cruize.
that just didn't sound right on air.
Really?
I got the M&Ms going over here. man,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we didn't
Yeah.
see nothing.
We
All I heard
didn't see
was
nothing,
peanuts.
and we
He
didn't hear
offered.
nothing.
He offered, and then I was like, no, it don't have no
Hey.
peanuts in it.
Hey,
It's
we
just
didn't see
chocolate,
nothing,
man, you
and we
know?
didn't hear
All right,
nothing.
we didn't see
But I
nothing on the
need
screen.
peanuts.
Nah.
I need peanuts.
Yeah.
I need peanuts.
Really?
So-
Yes.
but
True
it,
statement.
but the thing is, it gets stale after a while. I mean, like you said, how you gonna switch it up? What you gonna do? You gonna do something a little different before anybody else does? 'Cause
And
that-
it's hard to separate yourself from everyone because everyone doing
The
what
same thing.
Yeah, it's
Here's the
stale.
thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah, what's up?
When you're doing what you're doing from the heart, it'll come out.
Right.
See, this is the thing I like about Cruize. Cruize does his station like he does his station. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of more radio stations out there. But how Cruize runs his station, very professional. The setup is very nice.
Yep.
Yep.
And everybody that comes here are shocked that a radio station is in this building. So it's a good location for artists that want to be undisclosed and go to do an interview and get in and go out. They can park their car right outside. They can come out of the car into the building just like that.
Yep.
So when you're dealing with people who are sufficient about their business, you have to be sufficient about your business.
Right.
Correct.
So when I go places and I do what I do, and people tell me, "Well, what radio station you broadcast out of?" I'm under In The Mixx.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And when they look at the screen, like they're looking now, they can see it's a clear screen. They can see the audio's coming out good.
Yeah.
Everything is
That's
top
what-
notch.
Don't be blushing over there either, Cruize, okay? But but that's what I love about too In The Mixx. I love everything that goes
Everything's
on
crisp.
here. It is. Like when I look at the video,
Yeah, it's crisp.
when I look at the playback, I'm like, look at that video.
Yeah, the
That
video
Yeah,
is
but some
dope.
people see this platform. I try to make the platform better and better. But then you got to understand, sometimes I struggle with certain shows where they've become too comfortable with what they do. So to them, it's like it becomes a hangout. You understand what I'm saying? Like a getaway for people. And these are the shows that I've lately started weaving out. I mean, I don't want to eliminate shows, but at the same time, how do we become superior if I have people that are not flying at the same level that I want to fly on? You know what I'm saying? So if you don't see my vision, you only seeing your vision, then it's not going to work.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what made In The Mixx so much dope before.
That's a very good point that you just made. Whenever you have your own business, you have to, find people that share your vision. You have a vision and the other person have a vision, but how can you bring it together to make it even bigger?
Right.
And that's another thing that's hard for me, to open up and trust people with my vision and help make it better.
Well, I'm going to tell you on that note, when you start trusting people with your vision, it doesn't become your vision anymore. It becomes their vision. So it is a fine line between who you can trust and who you can't trust. When people around you start talking about what you can do and how you can get your business to the next level and how we are collectively going to do this, it's good. But then when you hear people say, well, you should do it like this and you should do it like that, that's not the person to listen to. The question is it about what you want me to do, or is it about what's best for us?
Right.
There's no I in team. Remember that statement.
Right.
Because when it starts becoming, well, I think it should be, and I think it should be, then that person is the person that should go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If those people could do it on their own,
Exactly.
why are you telling me what I'm supposed to do? Then you go. It's the same thing I was saying before.
Right.
You're a photographer. You're a DJ. You're telling me how to do my job. Then you go and do it yourself.
Exactly.
You know. And
Exactly.
this is what I'm saying. That with as far as In The Mixx, with what I do, I could give you the formula. Can you actually make it work? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. This is something that people could turn around and say it's simple. You got to have some type of nerd behind this.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I've done my homework on this, and I can honestly say I didn't go to school for this. I didn't go to school for audio, for whatever. I've been DJing for over 29 years. So if I can't understand audio and being a DJ for such a long time, then I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? So that was the first thing I had to learn, which is boards and all that other stuff, how to route sounds and auxiliaries and buses. You learn all of that stuff. Then the radio part of it comes together. Now you start learning how to put the video together.
Right.
You know, everything else as far as making websites, it's dummied down now, because now websites, back when I started In The Mixx, I had to write codes. I would use Dreamweaver and write codes out to do this if I wanted this to flash. So it was on a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you could just go on a website, drag and drop, and you like, oh my God, look at that, the website. Same thing with the apps. The apps have become drag and drop, where not writing codes.
Right.
When I first started the apps, I was writing codes.
Yep.
I don't write codes anymore, because now everything is like, oh, okay, I can put this picture here, you know what I mean? So it's become friendly users, dummied down.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I said, everything is time consuming, is money. People want to become rich overnight.
It's
You
not
know,
gonna
I'm
work
not-
like that.
I'm-
It don't work like
that's
that.
not gonna happen.
I'm not rich. People think I'm rich. They see me, oh, he got motorcycle, he got cars. I got a lot of bills. I'll trade with you. You know what I mean? It looks cool, but at the same time, I work hard.
Yes.
And I want to have those things, because God forbid, there's one day I might not be here. So
You
all my
wanna
stuff
work
is going to
and
go to
enjoy
someone
your
else or
life.
go to my kids.
Exactly.
You know? So at the end of the day, I'm going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? They do say, yo, we need to save money. Of course, I got my little stash put away. But in the form that this country's going, God knows where we're going to be at one day.
Exactly.
You know? So I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can.
Yes.
So
yes.
it is what it is, you know?
Yes.
I mean, I'm fortunate. I don't like to see other people that are not doing well, because I don't believe in that. Like, oh, I don't wish bad, even on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
It hurts, you know?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, you just got to keep it going,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep. Most definitely. So I want to switch gears right quick, because Father's Day is coming up. So, for Father's Day, I want to ask everyone, if you have kids, what are you doing for Father's Day? That's the first question.
Well, my daughter's born. My daughter's married.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she has a husband and I got 2 grandkids. So I usually just call her, talk to her for the day, and see what she's doing with the kids. That's it. And then my father passed away a couple of years ago, like 2006. It was a long time ago. But I reflect when it's that day. I reflect on things that he taught me, things that he was in the military. He's a Vietnam vet. I went in the military.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. So he's the one that inspired you to get into that. He talked about it.
Yeah, he kind of talked about it, and I just like the fact that he was really he had a lot of structure when it came to himself. But as be growing up in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have an out plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you don't have an out plan, you're gonna be in the ghetto. So my out plan was the military, and it broadened my horizon and got me out around people that I probably would never have been around in my life. So it gave me a broader range of thought and professionalism. And then when I came back, it was just like, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? So it takes you to a different level. Sometimes you have to get away from everything and everyone to progress.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
You have to step out of your own environment.
Because everybody don't want to see you make it. Like Cruize said, people don't want to see you make it. They want to see you crash and burn.
Yeah.
And then when you crash and burn, they'll come out and say, wow, that's messed up. Wow, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Right.
Oh my God, and you're looking like you wanted to see.
Meanwhile, they got a bunch of candles lit in their house.
Yeah, and they coming out, with the same business on top of that, copying your stuff.
Very true. What about you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, what about you, Cruize, for Father's Day? What's going on? And congratulations to your daughter too on her graduation.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she finally did it.
Excellent.
Yay, Kiana.
Hand claps, please.
The Cruize kids.
Yes. Congratulations.
Oh my God, that's right. My daughter used to have a show.
Yep, the
show on
Cruize
In The Mixx, the Cruize Kids.
Oh.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I would tune in and watch that show every Saturday, man.
Yeah, the Cruize Kids.
That's
So,
cool.
It was
Imagine
all
she
the Cruize kids on there.
Well, there was. Let me see. There was one missing.
What was this on YouTube or?
No, In The Mixx.
In the mix.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The Cruize Kids.
Okay.
I wish I had. I mean, I don't even have footage of that anymore. Like, that's
cool.
back
Lost
then.
the
It
footage.
was hard to archive those things. Like,
Yeah,
I might have probably one. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was hard. Maybe more pictures than footage. But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, unless my kids have something planned for me. But Father's Day, you could go to any restaurant and it's empty.
Yeah.
It's not like Mother's Day that you have
That
to wait
is
online.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
Y'all do it to us all the
Everything
time.
is empty. You just get a hey, happy Father's Day. Yeah. Happy
And then you
Father's
got
Day
women
to you.
in there talking about, I'm a father. I'm a father and a mother. It's happy Mother and Father Day for me.
You have children, Charles?
Nope.
Oh.
No
Okay.
kids, but I am blessed to have a father though.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shawn,
Uh-oh.
Cruize, like what does so a lot of people know my story. I grew up without my dad, and like I always say, we made amends and everything, and we cool now. But for you, Cruize, especially with a daughter, what does being a father mean to you to be to her, if that makes sense?
Being a father to her.
Yeah. Because I always hear, being a dad is hard and all of this and that. But then it's like I always say, what about the gift that you have, to grow with your children and to be an example to them and, just have that connection with your kids, if that makes sense.
I wouldn't say it's been hard. The hard part of being a parent is financially. Because emotionally, it doesn't cost you $1 or a penny. So I believe, like some people, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's their upbringing. Some people can show more affection to their children if they had got affection from their parents. You know, I could actually say neither one of my parents, I don't think they were really like affectionate towards us. You know what I mean? Like hey, you know, I love you. And like now is that my mom at an older age, before she hangs up, tells me she loves me. But you know why she does that now? Because she would always see me telling my kids I love them. So I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are things that my mom didn't learn. Why? Because back in the days, the old school parents were dry.
Right.
If you fell down and caught a get up and, you know, and brush it off. You know, it's not like now like your baby falls and you'll pick them up and kiss them. And, you know what I mean? So these are a lot of little things that people don't see.
Right.
You know? So I believe it has a lot to do with the parenting. Like it's the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Like, so if you're my child and I don't show you affection, you're not going to show affection to your child.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of things, like I was raised with both mother and father. And my father was barely around because my father owned his own business. He owned the dry cleaners for I don't know how many years. You know what I mean? Now my father's still there. You know, he's older now, and, you know. And my mom worked in a hotel as a maid for over 40-something years, almost 50, retired now. So you got to understand, both my parents were grinding.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would always, like, the only time I would spend with my father would be when he would take me out on a Sunday, and that's because he was playing softball on a team, and he would take us. It's not like he was playing with us. You know, we would just be there walking around like a bunch of retards in the park and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So my mom was the one who would make it the effort to take us to Coney Island and all these other little cool things and stuff like that. So me growing up, I always said, I'm going to do things different.
Right. Yeah. Break the cycle.
I'm going to be different with my kids. So that's why when you look on Instagram, you always see me doing stuff with my kids and doing this and doing that because, you know, it's,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's what it is.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, and I can't say, like I said, my parents didn't give me bad affection. You just didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it was time to do homework and stuff like that, my parents wasn't there helping us because they didn't understand that. You know, two Dominican parents, you know what I mean? They can't sit there and do homework with you meanwhile they're working, whatever. You know, like, we had to fend for ourselves. You know, my mom, father would go to work. It was me and my two brothers. You know what I'm saying? We would get home, you know, we would get up there like on the weekends when my parents both went to work. We were the ones who would get up in the morning and make eggs, bread.
Oh.
Yeah.
They taught you how to be independent.
We did everything, right? When we were kids, my mom never did laundry for us. We had to iron our own clothes. Luckily that my father owned the dry cleaner. So when we had dope clothes that we wanted pressed and clean, I would leave a little bag at the door. So when my father would leave in the morning, he would take it with him, press it, and bring it back. You know what I mean? So that we had to do. We had to do the, you know, when I hear my kid's mom, the second one from my, I have 6 kids. So it's 3 and 3. Okay? When she turns around and tells me, oh, I got to be doing laundry, I got to be doing this, I don't feel bad for her because I'm like, let them do their own stuff. You know why? Because me growing up, I did it. It's the same thing when...
And it teaches you not to depend on people.
Right. The same thing when I don't want to leave the kids alone in the house. Why? We were like 8, 9 years old when we would stay home alone. If your parents told you, doesn't matter if the devil's knocking on the door, if it's my mother, you don't answer the door because we have keys.
Yeah.
So what are they going to huff and puff the door down? They won't. You sit there. Well, I remember when we were kids and people would knock on the door, we would sit there watch our TV.
That's what I do now.
That's exactly what we would do because you're not expecting anybody.
Exactly.
I'm a pain when it comes to that. When people knock on my door, my house, believe me, I'm not opening the door. My mom does the same thing. So if I'm going to go see my mom, I have to call and tell your mom, I'm on my way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if not, I could be downstairs hitting the doorbell and she would not get up and answer the door. So this is the way we were raised.
Yep.
So believe me, that's the old school tactic. Now parents, they don't do the same thing.
They don't. I see a lot of things that's completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different. And I'm like, what happened?
That's why my mentality is different. I think and look at things in a different type of way. Things that, you know, when you're young, you're naive, you do a lot of dumb things. But as you get older, things are actually simple to do. People make things complex. You know that race, you can run straight, but you want to add a hurdle. You want to add a jump. You want to you want to add a tuck and roll. That's your problem.
Yep.
Don't make things impossible when they're actually simple. You know, like I said, you know what's difficult is money. Financial things is what become difficult.
Right.
Doing things that don't cost money are easy to do. I don't think
Exactly.
I don't think people see that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But when it comes to the money thing, and you do business, that's why I'm a pain. Me and my partner become pains to that. Why? Because at the end of the day, we do this, we do that, but this is costing me money.
Right.
I never at one point do you see me come up to you and take your money out your pocket. So don't do it to me because we're going to fall in the wrong place.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Things are simple. Same thing with business. You already know who the shady people are. Don't let them take you for boo-boo the fool. First of all, if you're not even investing $1 here, zip it up,
Right.
get out of here.
Yep.
Don't talk to me.
Yep.
That's it. That's just as simple as it is. Believe me, business will be easy for you if you do it that way. The hardest part of the business is getting people to come to you.
Yeah.
And you know, as far as loyal, a lot of people, 95% are not loyal. Okay, so don't expect loyalty. That's why you have to learn.
Preach, Cruize.
You have to learn to
Preach.
you have to learn to distinguish friendship and business.
Very
That's
true.
it. You know, we could be friends out of it. You know, the business part of it, let's keep it there because you already know we're going to go the wrong direction once you do that. And I'm real easy to cut people off. When it comes to a business thing, I'm not going to deal with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking money out your pocket. I'm not doing anything. So then just keep it going. We'll go to the next one.
Not worth the stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
so you got the cruise thing of the day.
I love talking to Cruize. So I noticed he changed the subject back to fatherhood.
Oh.
Back to fatherhood, though. So another question: with everything that's going on in the world right now, how do you talk to your kids about what's going on, especially with you, Cruize, because you have small
Yeah,
ones.
man.
Well, already my smaller ones, which is Evan, he's 8 years old. So to me, he's my baby. You know, so I still kind of shelter him. I do talk to him about certain things, stuff like that. Do I talk to him about things that are scary, things that are going on in the world? No. I don't think you should tell. I think it's a bad idea when you start telling kids at such a young age of all these bad things. Of course, you tell them, stay away from strangers, don't talk to this person, don't do that. Like the same way we were taught. But if I start imposing fear in my children,
Yeah.
what happens? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what society is. Society does, what they do is they start imposing fear on people from the beget.
Yep.
So now you don't even know how to handle yourself because you're always walking around cringing. When you start to learn about things little by little, believe it or not, you build a backbone. Because now you build immune to it and you go, okay, wait a minute, I'm going to learn how to work around that.
Right.
But if right away, I'm going to tell you, no, don't go. It's like a little kid. You tell them, don't go in there. The cuckoo's in there.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Don't go into that room because the scary guy's in there. Now you're afraid to walk in there.
Right.
You know, so I don't talk to them about those things. The things you don't want them near, you put them onto that. But all the crazy stuff that's happening in the schools or whatever,
Yeah.
you don't. I mean, you could tell them about it. If when something's gonna happen, God forbid, it's gonna happen.
It happens for a reason, too.
Right? It's gonna happen. Like you. What are you gonna put a bubble over them? You're gonna
Right.
put
That's
bulletproof
why-
shields on them. What are you gonna do?
That's why, like, for me, I don't have kids right now simply because of it's just too much. And it's not even about telling them. It's just me knowing what's going on. And that would freak me out. Anything. Because it's like you said, God forbid something happen. It happens. You can't do anything. And that would break me because I love kids. So it's like that's part of the reason why I don't have them, because I'm afraid to have them right now. My mother always say, don't say stuff like that. But I'm like, it's the truth right
Yeah, but
now.
you see, that's. But
It's
you
the
know what?
truth.
Time is. I mean, you don't want to just go have a baby anyway. You want to
Exactly.
have a child with someone that's
Exactly.
gonna be there with you. You're gonna be there with them. You guys are happy together. Because then you're just gonna have a broken home.
And oftentimes we see too many single mothers. They go with these guys that don't have a clue who they are.
Yeah.
And then the next minute, they're gonna end up having a child. Now all of a sudden they end up getting married. Then they end up being broke again, and they end up being single mothers with
Yeah.
children, and more children are in these foster homes. It's really sad like that.
But it
Yeah.
goes on to dads too, because I be hearing a lot of men say, "Oh, you know, I was with her. She was pretty at the time. You know, she's pretty or something like that." They just looking at the physical form, and then when they have a baby, then they realize, "Oh my God, what the hell did I do?" Like, you know, it
but
falls both ways.
That becomes ridiculous. I mean, honestly, for men and women, because that goes both ways.
Go out of the way.
That when you get with somebody, your woman has a baby, if she gets thicker, if she gets skinny, if that's the woman you love, doesn't matter if she goes between big and small, You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to love her the same way or love her more.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they love each other.
Now,
for each other.
I mean, the realistic part about it is, if you see that your girl's probably getting too big or whatever, and this is fact, okay? If you a big dude and your girl gets big, that's fine. If you a healthy dude and your girl gets big, then you have to encourage her and help her to go back to that level so you guys can stay. Remember what I said? You have to fly at the same level with me.
Yeah.
Because if you flying at a different level, that's when things go off.
Yep.
Balance.
Right. That's basically what that is. So you have to stay at the same pace. If you start to lose weight and your man is looking all big, you have to encourage him to be in the same place. You got to eat healthy. You got to do this. You got to do that. You know what I mean? A lot of girls have kids with dudes because they think it's going to lock them down. They think that's like a contract. And, you know, it really does become unfair for kids because kids they're not able to choose their parents.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's a bad one. And a lot of people get into relationships already knowing, like, especially for females, because females, their emotions are a little bit different the way it rides with a dude. A dude, you know, it's just different.
Right.
It just is what it is. And you already know that the dude is a bad dude. You already been dating a dude 6-7 months and he's already a piece of crap. But you already know this. You're already setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But you still want to stay there. Oh, because I love him. Man, get out of here. I'm going to tell the world, you were born alone. You wasn't born with someone stuck to your hip.
Got that right.
You wasn't stuck with, so all this, oh, I love him. He's nice to me here and there. No, it's not here and there. You're miserable. I seen a lot of talk shows when they show people going, oh, well, I love him, but this dude beats up on him and whatever. Really? What the hell do you love? What were you doing before you met him?
Yeah.
You know, like, go do that. Go play with your Barbie dolls. Go do something different because,
I played other
you know, because it's a fact.
Yeah, and even
So-
worse, now you post on social media.
Yeah.
no.
Like everybody, the
What?
social media stuff.
Everybody
What are you
has
talking
fake
about?
relationships on social media.
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
A lot
Faking it.
A lot of
Yeah.
fake relationship.
Yeah.
Taking the phone, man.
When you have when you put 1 million pictures up of, oh, my relationship is great, whatever, your relationship sucks.
Yeah.
And then everything was like,
It sucks.
It does.
Because it's cool. Like, we post up a picture, yo, we went to dinner, whatever, that's cool. But when I got to constantly keep saying it, you're not convincing them. You're trying to convince yourself that you have a pretty relationship, and your relationship sucks balls.
Exactly.
You know? So,
The more money you got, the more problems.
Yeah.
well, I mean, like I said, a relationship doesn't, it's not about money.
It's not about money.
Yeah.
But
It becomes money afterwards when y'all live together
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you have kids and whatever. That's when the money part kicks in. But like I said, people make things complex.
Exactly.
Okay? And don't tell people you love them if you don't love them.
That's Yep.
Yeah,
Dr. Phil
we tend to
has
do.
walked out the building.
Yeah, we tend to do that. You know,
You tend to do what?
people tend to do that. Oh, I love you.
Oh, you said
Oh,
we.
I love you.
That sounded French for a little bit. No we here. You.
Oh, they love you, so the reality kicks in, my friend.
It's that.
Remember
that
who
love
was it that was
thing.
talking about marriage?
That was you. You talking
Remember
about the last time
one
I was
we were
here?
talking
Yeah,
about marriage?
yeah.
Remember what I said? Don't marry anybody. You know what? No, I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
Marriage is, I think, a beautiful thing. It's just that nowadays people use it for the wrong
beneficial.
reasons. Exactly.
Everybody uses it for the
Listen to
It's
what I'm
true.
telling you.
It's wrong. It's
Listen
used for
to
the
what I'm
wrong
telling you.
reasons.
It's beneficial.
One thing is to marry someone and to live under a certain roof. One thing is to be dating someone. You're my girlfriend. You live here and I live over here. There's a difference when you have to put your head on a bed and wake up, go to sleep and wake up with this person every day. You have to see they're messy, they're not messy. You're going to start seeing all the do's and don'ts. Right. If you can live with someone for a year or two and you guys are dope together, then I say get married.
Right.
Okay? That's why I used to believe back in the days when people used to get engaged. You remember back in the days they would get engaged and women back when were more respectful where they wasn't giving you no buns.
No.
You would be engaged and you wasn't getting buns till after you got married. But see, to me,
a lot of the morals and values have changed now.
There's a problem behind that. You didn't get no buns until you got married. Because suppose now you be like, you get it, you be like, damn, that was a plain old cracker.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know what I mean? Because you get to know each other. If you guys in and out know each other, y'all love each other, y'all can laugh, y'all can play, y'all can like the same things, y'all can cry together, then get married.
Right.
But while you dating and you live in this home and he lives in that home, you're not going to see those things because I only have to deal with you on the basis when we go out and we eat. You go home, I go home. It's a big difference.
Right.
Yeah, you are, bro.
It's a big difference.
But still, I say marriage is a beautiful thing if, you know, like you said, the two people actually love each other and it's not used, you know, as a...
Let me not find out you get married, Nina.
I wish. Well, somewhat. Shut up, man.
I ain't say nothing, yo.
I wish. I wish. I wish. I do want it though, but
It's like don't rush it. Don't rush the process.
no, I'm not rushing. But
Is that
I'm
something
things-
like that's something on your bucket list? to get
Yeah,
married?
it is.
It's some. I mean, see, but that's what I'm saying. That females, their feelings are different. You know what I mean?
You trying to set somebody up.
No.
Find out.
No, I'm not. But I would definitely like to get married and experience, you know, that union. I
Yeah?
think, yeah, I would because I want to have kids.
Cool. Stop looking at me like that.
Because I do want to have kids, but
Oh,
I'm
boy.
old fashioned. I want to have kids with my husband. You know, not just with anybody. Because I don't want to be a single parent. But if I have to do it, I'll do it. But it's like I want to be married, have that household with my kids, my 3 to 5 kids. And
5?
Yeah.
Man.
Whoa.
And
wants a
I
farm.
want-
You gotta put them to work. God damn.
and I
That's like you gotta do a daycare after that.
but that's what I want though. I want to get married, and that's why I don't have no kids yet, because I
I mean,
want
those are dope things to do. But like I said, once again, you can't. Sometimes you can't. My kids, like I said, I wasn't married. It wasn't something that was planned, and like I was 21 when Kiana was born. I was 21 years old, so I wasn't prepared for that. Like when I, you know, and you know, it's funny that I was kind of happy. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a dad, or whatever. And trust me, I saw that little girl come out. I seen my kids all be born. I was in that room with them. So it's like a special thing. Your life changes as soon as you see them for the first time. So
Yeah.
you know,
I heard that
for other
story a
dads
few
out there
times,
that,
too.
that are just retards and don't spend time with their kids, they just stupid.
Yeah.
They're stupid.
There's a gentleman who I told you that will be calling in July 7th,
Okay.
who has a movement called the Real Fathers Movement.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why I asked him to call in on the show, because I like what he's doing.
That was today though?
No, it's going to be July
okay.
7th.
I thought that was the guy that was calling
No,
before.
this guy is for July 7th. I don't want to say his name yet until I get everything straightened out.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
working on it with his people.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Don't
So-
count your eggs to the guy.
Exactly. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted him to call into the show, because I love, you know, seeing men be with their kids. I think it's so attractive, you know, like when they the way they love them and how they make sure they're straight because they want to be a good example for their kids, and they keep their household together. I love that. That's what I want. And every time I meet someone that have, you know, those, what's the word I'm looking for? Those tendencies or whatever, I find out something about them. More so that they're spoken for. And I'm
Okay,
like,
well, you know
"Oh,
why though?
man."
But see, the problem is, I mean, the cats that you've been meeting, they have kids already?
Yes.
You got to find somebody that doesn't have kids.
This is 2018. Who don't have kids?
No,
I don't.
no.
I'm 31 years old, having no kids.
Yeah, but it's not a lot though.
Well, you know what it is? It becomes different when it's someone that doesn't have kids. For you, because you don't have kids, he don't have kids. Someone already that already has kids, 9 out of 10 times might be spoken for already, or you know, there's a back and forth going on. So, I mean, I've always said that's the same thing. Somebody was talking to me the other day about a guy that's dating an older girl that already has 2-3 kids. I was like, oh, he's gonna cheat on her. They were like, why would you say that? I was like, because she already has kids, older kids, and all that. He don't have kids. Let's be realistic. It's unfair to him. Of course, he's going to take on the opportunity. He's a guy. You know what I'm saying? A young guy, whatever. You know, you got an older woman that's sexy, whatever. But at the end of the day, what happens when he wants to create his own family? He can't do that with you. Vice versa too. It's the same thing. A girl that doesn't have kids and whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, the only difference with a dude is that a dude, 9 out of 10 times, how many dudes get surgery not to have kids?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a rare.
Right.
You know, but I would say you have to get with somebody that doesn't have kids, and you know, I don't know. Just my opinion. That part doesn't count right there. Yeah.
But it's just
It's an opinion.
like I said though, it's hard to find someone who don't have kids.
I know.
It's really hard because
Yeah, it is.
everybody have kids now. Like,
Well, you got to probably stop meeting guys where you meet them at.
Right.
but I don't go anywhere to like meet them. Like sometimes I could meet them at work, you know. And
They work with you?
like in a different department or like in a different firm within my within the building or something. But like not like sit on the floor with me, no.
He is number one. Don't date anybody that's at your job, near your job. Keep that in distance.
Yep.
Just take it from me. Don't ever do anything close to home base.
No. That's gonna screw your life up. Big time.
Keep it away from home base. Don't meet people from your job that works at your job.
Right.
Sometimes you can't even get people that do the same field you do. Because there's always going to be a competition. Trust me. Get somebody that's different, you know what I mean, that has the same aspiration, the same, you know, same as you know, in the same place, you know, they have that drive. But sometimes it's not good to get with someone that does the same thing you do. That's a bomb.
That's true. But I always thought of it like that's true. But I always thought of it differently also because I said then if I meet someone who's doing something similar to me, then he understands what, you know, I'm going through or whatever. But
you have a mindset of what you want to do already. Sometimes the things you want to, sometimes you can't plot it out and write it so.
No.
You're defining it so well. You want it to work that way, and sometimes it just doesn't work that way. Sometimes with things you don't plan are the ones that work better.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you plan things and it gets some way along the line it'll get messed up or something just doesn't go the way you wanted it to. So you can't set yourself up for disappointment.
That's true.
You know that if that's coming and stuff like that. So
very true. I was always one that tried to plan ahead. That's what I was taught. Try to plan everything out.
You can't plan love ahead.
No.
You know, when you fall in love, you become blind.
Yeah, I've been through that too. You already know my story with that too.
You become blind, and that's a different total ball game. Like, so, like I said, females, their relationships, the emotions is a little bit more involved, I think, than guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's just it's facts.
We the emotional ones.
You're right. There's more. You guys put more emotion into it. You know what I mean? And sometimes little things, like you see how some girls be like, oh, you know, by asking me how did my day go. Like, you know, when you hear that, like, oh, just by asking me those simple things, I'll be all right. And they'll get angry if you didn't ask them how their day went. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you may not ask that. That might not mean that you don't love them. But sometimes you look for problems. Remember I was telling you, you put hurdles in places where they don't belong. Yeah. If a person naturally, from the beginning, wasn't asking you, babe, how was your day? How was this? How was that? Why are you expecting that from him now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you accepted him this way. Don't try to mold him now the way you want him to and then start trouble. Because I've seen a lot of that where you start trouble you know what I mean? Like, don't start trouble. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that because you already knew how he was here. This is what I was saying before. Right. You already know what you got yourself into. So now you know what I mean? I'm telling you, from old experiences and stuff like that, you know where to fall. You know,
that's another reason why I don't have no kids. Cause it's just too much that go along with that. And I always said too, if I have a child with someone and I end up hating them 3 days later, I got a problem. Because I can't just say, you know, get out my house and I don't want to see you anymore. Because then it's a little person involved.
Well, the emotions become different. Yeah,
and see, that's why I applaud single parents out there. I really, really do. So, oh my God, it's a lot. So yeah, so on that note, I'm going to get ready to shut down. I appreciate everyone calling in, and I'm sorry to the caller that called and we didn't get to speak, but I know who to contact to get him on the show, because I definitely want to hear his side of being a single father.
Okay.
And on that note, thank you everyone for joining the Nina Monique Show. Have a great evening. Bye.